pretty much always I approach my films based on the story, based on the script. Like my character is always secondary in my mind because I'm always trying to stop appearing like myself. Somewhere I think my off-screen persona has now become a little bigger than my character. I think I've always kind of analyzed my scripts based on how safe, how risky it is for producers. So I think my risk appetite was a lot lesser when I was starting out, when I was younger. I didn't have that kind of track record to like really push boundaries.
I understood the scale of this project was big. I understood that the production value is going to be off the roof for a Malayalam film. But I was wrong.
Hello, welcome to ETimes. I'm Rachit Gupta, and today I'm here to meet the team of King of Kotha. Welcome Shabeer, welcome Dulquer, and welcome Aishwarya. I have to ask you guys, I always feel whenever a film, a project, a character comes to an artist, their first reaction is always the most honest, the most brutal one. So building on that, when this story came to you and when you sort of became aware of your character, what was that first honest reaction? Starting with you, Aishwarya.
See, I was wrong. My initial reaction and what I could imagine, I understood the scale of this project was big. I understood that the production value is going to be off the roof for a Malayalam film. But I was wrong. When I went to the set, it was even upper.
Even more.
Yeah. So that was my first understanding of the film, and it was shattered on set, and shattered in a good way. It was different in a good way. It was better. But story part of it, which is what Malayalam films are known for, the writing is always brilliant, which is retained in this film. It is very good.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Now the audience have to say.
Shabeer?
Honestly, I was mind blown by the number of characters in the movie,
Right.
and how they all were coordinated and well written. So I was little like her. I was little taken off. It's like, how many characters? And I was still able to follow the whole thing and visualize what the writer was telling me.
Nice.
And the first thing which came to my mind was, I'm doing this, but
Right.
let me take some time and like settle down and tell them the decision. So yeah, first time I heard that, I'm like, I'm on board. In my mind, I was like, I'm on board.
Nice. Dulquer, was it the same for you?
No,
Or you
I've kind of been a part of this from the gestation,
Yeah.
from the initial thread that the writer Abhilash came up with. We went through many iterations of it. So I think I first heard it in 19. We must have gone through 7-8 drafts till we finally arrived at the base of what we eventually ended up making. So I think a lot of the time, I think pretty much always I approach my films based on the story, based on the script. Like my character is always secondary in my mind. If we can tell a great story and everybody watches it, I think those are the films I choose to do. But I knew it's going to be an interesting role to play. It's very unlike me, which is nice because I'm always trying to stop appearing like myself. Somewhere I think my off-screen persona has now become a little bigger than my character.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. But for you to say that this is like a dream project, that's a huge statement, right?
Right.
So, where does that stem from? What convinced you that this is the dream project?
So I think starting out, I didn't have the sort of courage to do big budget films. I don't know what it is. I think I've always kind of analyzed my scripts based on how safe, how risky it is for producers. And over the course of time, you can read a script and kind of create a rough budget in your mind, and you understand the business, and you know like what risks you're taking. So I think my risk appetite was a lot lesser when I was starting out, when I was younger. I didn't have that kind of track record to like really push boundaries, and also the market was very different. Like we didn't have the OTT cushion. We didn't have even our overseas now has opened up so much more for Malayalam. And I think as I was kind of getting closer to, I think by then I'd done multiple languages, and so when this came my way, I was like, maybe this is the film where I can kind of push the boundaries in terms of budget and scale that I've attempted to date. We had already done a Kurup, so that gave us some amount of confidence. And I was like, this should probably be bigger. So in that sense, it was a big dream. It's also maybe, in some ways for me, I'm reaching a certain milestone with attempting a big film. Maybe I'm acknowledging it to myself that it's okay. You know, you can push in some way. And also for my production, I think this is a big endeavor. And I think we pulled it off. So I think in all those ways, it was a dream project.
And when you're working for an action film like King of Kotha, is that like an added challenge in terms of physicality? Do you have to do more prep for the action? You've done a fair bit of action. I've seen a clip
Not
of you
in
on
this
YouTube.
film.
Not
Yeah,
in this,
it's
but
different film. Yeah.
but so I mean, when you're doing this action, is that like an added level of prep that you have to do? And how challenging is that?
So he loves action.
Absolutely. I
Because he's
prepare
a-
for action every
He's
day.
the veteran.
He's preparing for it every day.
Every day.
Okay.
He's a full-on fitness enthusiast.
Yeah.
He does parkour. He does all this. And if you tell him this film has football, he'll go start playing football. If you tell him this film has knife fights,
It's fun.
you know, he'll come and ask production, give me some of the dummy knives, and he'll start practicing. So he loves it. Like he really, what do you say, devours it. Like, you know, with all of his. And I'm coming in, you know, after a bunch of films which didn't have a lot. Was very. I think Salute had a couple of sequences. But I mean, you need to kind of prep in the sense like your fitness level should be better. Because it is tiring, and a lot of the times we're shooting in heat and dust and going multiple takes and stuff. So that can drain out your energy. And if you look weak or tired, it shows on screen. You know, your punches land weak, your body language goes off. So in that sense, I think you need to kind of be at least well rested, well nourished.
Dulquer, I have to ask you. You've just spoken about transitioning, you know, from your kind of cinema to now King of Kotha style of cinema. You have also revealed that you don't mind directing films. You know, maybe in the future. So, what kind of genres or what kind of films will we should look forward to when Dulquer sort of decides that he could become a director? Have you ever given that a thought?
I think, I mean, a lot of the times, the stuff I'm drawn to are a little more, I don't want to say intense, but like with emotions in it. I love human dramas. I love real adversity and conflicts in life. Just because there's so many stories out there like, that real people go through and still kind of push on with life with a smile on their faces. And they're all hiding so much conflict in their lives. We don't really know each other's real pain or real. So I think sometimes I feel like I want to delve into those because a lot of the times what we see isn't what people are projecting. You know.
Right.
So I'm sometimes drawn to that. So I
Or
don't know if-
would you like to drop a few names, like say maybe, I mean, based on what you're talking, say A Life is Beautiful.
Like
or-
there's a book by Manu Joseph called The Illicit Happiness of Other People.
Okay.
I remember reading that book and being like, I'd love to make this a film.
Is that a hint?
I don't know if I'll do a book adaptation, but I feel like that's my zone.
Okay. Guys, I'll ask all three of you a sort of, it's like a quick takeaway question. Give me 3 of your all-time favorite action films.
Action film.
Yes.
Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Because I watched the.
But which
7th
one? There are
edition.
like what, 7, 8
Yeah.
now? Any favorites?
I like anything that has Tom Cruise in it.
All right. Okay. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm not a, action film
Consumer
fan.
of big
Yeah,
action.
yeah. Mine is like, I want films that are easy on my heart and brain. Those are the kind of films that I like. So I would like to pass on that.
And Tom
question.
Cruise does that for you.
No, Tom Cruise, whatever he does, I'm
Yeah,
happy.
exactly.
What action?
Shabir, any 3 favorite action films?
MI, first part is
Okay.
one of my favorites.
First
The
Then-
first
first
one,
is the best.
1996.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of my favorite. Then action, I like Kurdi Poonal for some reason. Kamal Hassan says Kurdi Poonal. That kind of action.
Nice.
And those 2 are the only movies which come to my mind first.
Yeah.
I don't know about a third. I mean, I basically enjoy all action films, but these 2 I always enjoyed. And I like Apocalypto very much.
Yeah.
Those kind of action.
Nice.
There's some drama in the action also, not
Nice.
just
True.
hitting. Yeah.
True. I mean, action always needs emotion, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
it's so flat.
Yeah, Apocalypto will come
Yeah.
top 3.
Dulquer, you've thought about this?
Yeah, I was thinking this whole time. I think when I was some of the most impactful films when I was growing up, one was Speed, which I loved, True Lies, which I still love revisiting, and anything with Jackie Chan.
Oh, I'm so
Like,
sorry, I forgot.
My entire childhood was Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Like I would watch everything, like Spanish Connection, Police Story, all of the OG sort of the Chinese ones, which would be dubbed quite poorly into English. Where,
Yeah, during those days.
Yeah, there's no sync whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's completely off. But I used to find him so charming yet so epic in his action sequence, and he used to do all of his stunts himself.
Final question, guys. A lot of the last 1.5 years, we've heard this term pan India
Right.
float around so much. Honestly speaking, now I don't feel there are any boundaries between cinema per se. Anything that is good works. So on a sort of a global perspective, do you guys feel that King of Kotha is that kind of film that can appeal to a universal audience, not just over India, but a wide diaspora? Do you guys honestly feel that that's true?
I think so. I think what I believe in the film is very rooted in this place, in this fictional town of Kotha, which can be in Kerala or Tamil Nadu or Andhra, Telangana. It can be in any of these south states in terms of topography and visually the landscape, how it looks. But it doesn't really lend itself to any one place. So I think, which is why in my head I was like, okay, maybe this can be adapted to other languages. It could to northern Indian viewers. I think for them there is a certain curiosity to see other parts of India through our films. So this represents a small town in southern India. I think that appeal would be there to them. But at the end of it, it's universally it is a gangster drama at the very bare minimum of it. But over and above that, I think it's a great friendship story. Like Shabeer and Aishwarya was saying, there's so many characters in the film.
Yeah.
Like when I was promoting Guns, like what I love about Raj and DK and sometimes the series space, there's many different tracks, there's many different characters, and everybody is crucial to the narrative, and everybody kind of pulls it in a different direction. And I don't see that a lot in our cinema. But I think this has that. So every single cast member almost has a very crucial role in the narrative. So I think in that way it'll be a very interesting watch across markets or demographics.
So it's a new experience, so to speak, on the big screen.
I don't like making those kind of tall claims. I think it's very honest. I think the writing isn't really inspired from anything. I think there's something very genuine in that. And I really think it was very interesting the way the writer kind of woven all of the characters into this narrative. Because even for me, when I'm hearing it, there are stuff that's in the first half that kind of surprises you later in the film. And I think that can only happen when you have a really well-written, bound script.
Right.
It isn't something we kind of made up as we shot.
Again, words of wisdom from DQ. I had ended my last interview with him on the same thought. So great to have you guys on ETimes. And
Thank you, Rajat.
Yeah, and best of luck for King of
Great
Kotha.
seeing you 2 weeks back to back.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.